A very good afternoon, all the participants. I am Professor Abhijit Mandal. Today we are going to start our most awaiting life-changing webinar session, and I am happy to introduce today's guest speaker, Commander Dr. Shekhar Murthy sir. Let me introduce him. With over 37 years of battle-hardened leadership in the techno-HR space, Commander Dr. Murthy's professional experience bears testimony to his authentic and innovative leadership in defense, engineering, software, and academic domains. He has created learning centers across the world, built capacity through business-focused training, and led mission-critical projects of national importance. Alumnus of prestigious institutes of eminence, IIT Kharagpur, BITS Pilani, and U21 Harvard Publishing. Dr. Murthy holds a doctorate in learning management. His doctoral thesis on building effective learning strategies for the 21st century was recognized as HR best practice by D&B in 2015 and 2017. Formerly President IIC Academy and VP HR, Dr. Murthy relinquished this position in June 2019. We welcome you, sir. Sir, please, over to you.
Put my presentation first. Can you see the presentation? Can somebody confirm, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you for confirming that the presentation is on, and good afternoon, participants. It's indeed a pleasure to have this opportunity to talk to you about holistic goal setting. And I hope that in the next 40 minutes, you will have a very purposeful time with me. So let's forge ahead and get on.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, tell me, please. Hello. Yeah. So let me get on with the presentation. The only thing I need to tell you is please mute your mic throughout the session so that there is no disturbance. The last two in this board is very important. One is try to be curious, try to find out something more in today's session, and be prepared to unlearn. That is also very important. If you have a very fixed mindset, then it is very difficult to learn anything. And most importantly, have fun during the session. So our journey during this program today is to set and clarify your holistic goals in life. It's just not becoming a CEO of a company. That just can't be a goal in life. So let us see what are holistic goals in life. Set your goals, plan actions, fix thresholds, and set timelines. If you don't do these, then no matter how good your goal is, it will be very difficult to achieve it. More importantly, act on your plans. You have to monitor progress, learn and unlearn, celebrate successes as you go by, because this whole life of ours is a journey, and you should enjoy the journey and not just get fixated at the destination. Destination is important, but in trying to reach the destination, you must enjoy the journey also. And finally, try to live a meaningful and purposeful life, so that at the end of the day, when you are about to relinquish this world, you should be feeling very happy that you have left a legacy behind. So that should be the purpose of your life. In fact, Robert has very nicely said this when he said that the purpose of life is a life of purpose. Just remember these very useful and purposeful lines of a life. Okay, so now let's go to the first slide. What you see on the screen is a picture of Mount Everest, and I'm sure that you know that Edmund Hillary and Sherpa Tenzing Norgay, they were the first ones who climbed Mount Everest in first, and that was in May 1953. Most of you were not born, even I was not born at that point of time. And they climbed this Everest not on the very first attempt. They had very many failed attempts. In fact, once after a big failed attempt, Edmund Hillary came down the Everest and then looked at the mountain, and literally he screamed. He said, one day I will come and conquer you, because you are a mountain, but I am a human being. You cannot grow, but I can. So that is very important. Our human existence is about growth, and growth should be purposeful. We have the potential in us. It is for us to make big use of this opportunity to grow our potential. So let me pause here, and I'll ask you a small question, which I don't expect an answer from you, but just in your own mind, try to answer this question so that you will be along with me, interacting in this session. So although I don't require an answer from you, but in your own mind, you should answer these questions. So the question is, to climb a mountain, what do you need most? To climb a mountain, what do you need most? So first is equipment. Should you have equipment to climb the mountain? The second is training, teamwork, good luck. Should you have all these elements for you to succeed to climb a mountain? Or should it be good weather conditions? So think about this, and in your own mind, try to find an answer. What is it that you need most? Of course, most of you might say that we need all of these. But the question is, which one is the most important of all these? Okay. And my answer is none of these. Okay. What is very important is none of these, but you need a mountain to climb first. First of all, if you don't have a mountain to climb, what is the use of all this equipment? So therefore, we in our life should identify the mountain that we want to climb. And that is very important. Most of you are doing MBA program. So you have identified a mountain in your life as far as your career is concerned. You may want to excel as a senior manager, as a CEO, or even try to become a founder of some organization. All these could be your mountains, right? So the most important thing that we have to understand in our life is that we must have a mountain to climb first. When I say you must have a mountain to climb first, it means that in your life, you should have a purpose. In your life, you should have a goal. If you don't have a goal, what is the use of this body, mind, and intellect, which are your equipment through which you are working day in and day out? And it is one of the most wondrous kind of an equipment that you have. So if you have this kind of an equipment and you have come to a place like ASBM to study, where you get training, and also you interact and study and do projects of various kinds along with your peers and friends and community, all these will help you to grow your talent and capability and competence. And if you have all this but no goal, what is the use of it? So the first takeaway from today's session is that each one of us should have a mountain to climb first. That is the long and short of this particular slide. And it's a first takeaway for you. Identify your mountain first. That means identify your goals in life first. Now, leaders abound everywhere, in societies, in academics, in politics, in professions, in organizations, and also in nations. And we often relate leadership with status, position, power, knowledge, and wealth. I agree that the leadership exists in all these places, and there is no doubt about it. But the biggest mission of your life, for which none other than yourself is the leader, is to lead your own life. You say that I want to lead my life. When you are saying you want to lead your life, you are the leader of your life. And therefore, as a leader of your life, you must lead your life with purpose and meaning, so that upon relinquishing your life at the end of your day, you will leave a legacy for people to remember. People should say that you were indeed one of the most noble souls who walked on this earth. So my question to you is that, have you assumed leadership in your life? And have you identified your mountains? So both are important. Identify your goals, identify your purpose, and then assume leadership in your life. Then only you'll be able to attain your goals. Now you must also appreciate that life is organic and holistic. It is not one-dimensional stuff. It is not just about making a career. It is not about just making money. It is not about just amassing a lot of material, comforts in your life. Your goals in life must be purposeful and span beyond your immediate self, family, and friends. It must positively impact society, organizations, and environment. In fact, a lot of people in your life who have helped you to be what you are, you must return it back to them. It could be a small person like someone who delivers milk in your home, or someone who delivers newspapers at your home. They have all added in some way or the other, contributed in some way or the other to make your life what you are today. Therefore, you have an obligation to return it back to them. So your life should be beyond yourself, beyond family, and beyond friends. Okay. The second is that there are 5 balls that we constantly juggle in life. These are work, family, health, friends, and spirit. When I say spirit, it means spiritual. This is what the ex-CEO of Coca-Cola, Brian Dyson, once said. And there is a YouTube link. I have left it here. It's a 30-second speech. And I request you all to note down this link. I will anyway send a PDF copy of this presentation, and go and visit this YouTube video and watch it. It's just a 30-second speech, one of the best speeches that I have seen in my life. The most important part is that in work, family, health, friends, and all this, the work part, the ball which is called as work, is a rubber ball. That means when you throw it on the floor, it will bounce back. But your relationships are not something which is a rubber ball. It's a ball made of glass. And once it is left to the onto the floor, or it is thrown onto the floor, it breaks. Therefore, you have to be very, very careful when you deal with these balls. And that is what this 30-second speech is all about. Now, I am basically an engineer, and I look at life's goal as vectors. I'm sure that most of you must have in your school studied a bit of physics, and scalars and vectors must be 2 quantities that you must have heard of. I'm sure that you've all heard of it. Just to tell you that a vector is a quantity, is something which has both direction and a magnitude. So it has some value and it has a direction in which that value or the magnitude points to. So in my opinion, life's goal is to be viewed as vectors. So what you see here is the origin. from where I'm going to draw my vectors. So the first vector I draw is what I call as to become vector. To become vector. And this to become vector is something which is related with money affluence, which means that it is related with your acquiring property, you're acquiring a car, you are acquiring a beautiful house, you're acquiring a lot of luxuries in life, you are flying everywhere in various flights, you're visiting various countries, so you have the money to do all this. The second vector is what I call as the to be vector. The first one was to become vector. The second is to be vector. And to be vector is more related with time affluence. That means you have to spend a lot of quality time to make a to be happen. So there is a little bit of a contradiction here, because when you are into money affluence, when you are trying to acquire money, when you are putting all your energy to only grow in the dimension of to become, then you lose quality time. You will not be able to spend quality time with your family, with your friends, with the society and all that. So you have to balance your life between the two. When you do that, then you will get a resultant vector, as I have shown in the slide in the red arrow, and that will be the resultant direction of your life. It all now depends whether you are more inclined towards to become or more inclined towards to be, and accordingly the resultant life's direction will change. It will also change depending on how much magnitude, that means how much of effort and energy you're putting to become and how much of energy and time you put to be. Both are, that defines the magnitude. So I have the next exercise for you, and that is, there are two statements I have written here. I will request all of you who are students of this session to kindly write down this exercise on a piece of paper if you have, on a notepad or whatever you can. And the two statements are these. In my life, I want to become. In my life, I want to become something. Okay, I've just put some dash. So that dash can be filled up by writing something like CEO of MNC, or a project director, or HR head, or whatever it is. Okay, so in my life, I want to become a CEO of MNC or a project director or whatever. Now you have to write on a piece of paper what you want to become in your life. Please do it, because at the end of this session, I'm going to find out from a few of you what you want to become in life. If some of you can put it on the chat box, I'll be very happy. So what is it that you want to become in life? Please write it down. Have you done that? Okay, so I will now go to the next statement. And the next statement is, what is it that I want to be in life? In my life, I want to be in peace. In my life, I want to be happy. In my life, I want to radiate kindness to others. So, you have to write something of that kind in this blank. What is it that in my life I want to be? I want to be something. So please write something like what I'm suggesting to you. Like, I want to be happy, I want to be peaceful, I want to be considerate and kind to others, I want to, whatever you feel, what you want to be. Please put it down. So these are the two statements you have to complete in this exercise. I will leave you another 30 seconds to write down. And if you can put it in the chat box, please do. Okay, I'll now go on to the next slide. Now I'm going to tell you one of the most profound mantra. And please remember this mantra all your life. And if there is nothing else that you take away from today's presentation, at least this slide you must, because this is the reality of life. So I'm going to go through this slide very slowly, and you have to understand this slide and literally remember this mantra for life. Okay. This mantra is about a paradox that we face in life. Now, what happens is, in trying to become, you remember the to become vector? In trying to become what you want to become. So you must have wanted to become a CEO or whatever. In trying to become what you want to become, you think. In trying to become what you want to become, you think you will be what you want to be. In trying to become what you want to become, you think you will be what you want to be. In other words, if you have decided to become a CEO, you must be wondering and thinking that by becoming a CEO of MNC, you will be happy. Okay. Now remember, these are two different vectors I had put in my previous slide. Achievement of one does not automatically means achievement of the other. And this is the biggest mantra in life you can ever, experience. There are many affluent people. In fact, recently, one of the most popular Bollywood actors who was loved and known in such a short span of his career suddenly decided to end his life. So obviously just money and prestige and status does not give you happiness in life. So please remember this mantra. So the mantra is, in trying to become what you want to become, you think you will be what you want to be. And this is the biggest paradox. So you have to understand that these are two different vectors in life, and you have to put energy, time, and effort for both these vectors if you want to be happy in life. Okay. So now I've been talking about this vectors. So if you are very much, pursuing only career in life, then the red line that I have shown in this slide will be your resultant life's direction. It will be more towards to become. And at the end of your career, when you look back, you would suddenly find that you have lost a lot of things in life. You could not spend enough time with your mother. You could not spend enough time with your friends, and many such things would have happened. And therefore, it is something that you must remember. So therefore, try to make this red line somewhere which is balanced between to become and to be. Okay. Now you remember that money affluence can provide you a lot of material comforts. It can give you a lot of transitory happiness, better bank balance. It can give you more power. It can give you more status, but it may not be able to provide you sustainable happiness for a long time. In short, money can't buy happiness. Please remember this. Many people must have told you this, but we do not, unless we don't experience it ourselves, we don't believe it. So, but it is better wisdom to sometimes take such advice if somebody has already gone through such paths earlier. Now, I'm going to give you some idea about how we rate our happiness. Okay. So most of you must be preparing for some of your online examination. I hope my guess is correct. Okay, and you haven't yet given your examination, but you are likely to appear in one of the online examination. Okay. Now today, sitting here, when you have not written your examination as yet, predict on a scale of 1 to 9, 1 being not at all happy, 9 being very happy, Okay. You have to, on this scale, you have to predict that if you get a grade in your examination, which you are going to write, which is lower than what you expect, supposing you were expecting a B grade and you got a C grade, so how unhappy or happy you will be on a scale of 1 to 9. You have to write down a number. Okay. And if your actual grade is better than what you have expected, so you were expecting a B but you got a A, then how would your scale of happiness be? Whether it will be 6 or 7 or 8, it depends on what you think. Okay, so you haven't written the examination as yet, but you're making a prediction that if I get a grade lower than what I expect, what will be my scale of happiness? If I get a grade which is better than what I expect, what will be my scale of happiness? So there will be two numbers. And also, what if you get a grade of what you're expecting, what will be your level of happiness? So there are three numbers you have to write, and these three numbers will be between 1 and 9. Okay. Now this is when you have not yet written the examination. Now after you have written the examination, which may be 1 month later from today, and you have received a grade, your actual grade you got, now you are actually experiencing your happiness level. So what do you think you expect? You have written three numbers earlier, which was your prediction. Now you actually got your grade. So you know whether it was lower than what you expect, or it is higher than what you expect, or it is the same. Okay, what do you expect to happen? Do you think that these three numbers, when you actually get your result, will be the same? That is the question. So let us look at the next slide. So this happiness prediction exercise on attainment of grades was done by Linda Levin in the University of California. And they had surveyed 181 students, and they asked the same question which I just asked you. And the results were like this, that if you got a grade, your actual grade was lower than your expected grade. You had earlier predicted that your happiness level will be at 4.42. This is the average from all the students of 181. But what you are experiencing after you got the grade, even it was lower than what you had expected, is about 6.36. Okay. Similarly, there is some noise. Can somebody mute your system, please? Yeah, there is some chat. There is some chatter. Yeah. So if you get a grade that is your expected grade, the prediction earlier was 7.81, but what you are experiencing is 6.45. And if you got a grade which is higher than what you predicted, your predicted happiness was 8.27 and your experience is 6.55. What I want you to note is whether you got a lower grade or the same grade or a higher grade, what you're actually experiencing is very similar. Okay. So all this, thinking that, it will be great and all that, yes, that is all short-lived. But when the actual experience happens, this is what really happens in life. So why does it happen? Because, this is the significant lesson that you have to learn from this exercise. While deciding how strenuously to pursue or avoid outcomes, let it be buying a car, changing your career or having children or whatever, people attempt to predict how happy or unhappy those outcomes will make them. So it is just a prediction. Consistently overestimating future happiness would doom people to perpetual disappointment. And consistently overestimating unhappiness to perpetual dread. So this is what this whole survey and the findings told us. So there is an intensity bias in effective forecasting. And this is a beautiful paper. You can read them. Okay. So what basically I'm trying to tell you is that whatever may be your short-term goal, of, in your case, getting a particular grade, okay, today you feel that if I get a B grade, I'll be so damn happy. But actually, when the grade comes, your happiness level will not be the same as what you had predicted. Okay, and that is what this whole stuff shows. And this happens not just for examination, it will happen when you get a job, when you get a promotion, and so on and so forth. So that is how this whole rat race keeps going on. Okay, and then in trying to pursue this rat race, sometimes you forget to become or pursue happiness in life. So that is why I gave you this little idea of what this whole survey was all about. Okay. So now there are two words which you must be very clear about. So we often say, and this whole session is about goal setting. Okay, it is not about purpose setting. So you must know what is the difference. Now, goal and purpose both are nouns. Now, Merriam-Webster dictionary actually gives a definition. It says goal is the end toward which an effort is directed. Okay, so I'm putting an effort to become a very good spin bowler. Okay, so my effort is trying to spin the ball, and my end point is to become the top 3 spinner in India. Okay, whatever it is. So that could be a goal. But the purpose is something set up as an object or end to be attained. It is an intention. Now, why do I have to become a good spinner? It is because I feel that by becoming a good spinner, I will be able to become famous and I may be able to earn a lot of money. So basically, becoming famous and getting more wealth, that is my intention. That is my purpose. So a purpose is the reason why you are doing something. And a goal is a measurable thing you want to achieve. So therefore, this whole thing that we are doing today is about goal setting. And this whole goal setting is about about how to do these measurable activities and see for ourselves whether we have attained those goals or not. But the purpose is to identify those mountains, which I said in my first slide. And that is the real purpose, why we want to do, the real reason why we want to do. And that purpose will have...
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
Sir, in that point, in purpose versus goal, there is little bit having confusion. So I should ask.
Yeah, please ask. Yeah, please ask.
Sir, here is point that you have written that purpose is the reason why you are doing something.
Correct.
Because in our life, anything we are doing, there is some purpose. And as you have written in your presentation, that goal is a measurable thing you want to achieve.
Correct. Yeah, go ahead. Hello.
Sir, purpose and goal having the same purpose, no, sir? For some time well-being, as we think that.
No. So, okay, let us take...
Sir, can you please, sir? Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we'll take an example. Okay. So
Yes,
there is some background noise. Can you mute your system? You can hear me.
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay, sir.
Okay. So let us see that many of the students who are attending this webinar today, they are all MBA students. Am I right?
Yeah, it's a mix of, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, I am sir BCom.
No. I mean, most of the students who are attending, they are doing some degree. Okay, it could be MBA, it could be commerce, it can be something else. But they are doing some degree, right? So let us take an example of somebody who's aspiring to get an MBA degree. Okay. So what is the goal? Goal is to get a MBA degree. But was that the purpose? No. The purpose was, by using this MBA degree, somebody wants to become a manager in a corporate or become a CEO tomorrow or become something else. So the purpose was different. The goal was to get MBA degree. Can you see the difference?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. So there is a purpose, and so purpose is a
Yes,
larger
sir.
thing. Why we are doing MBA is to actually become a manager somewhere,
Yes,
and
sir.
becoming that manager is the purpose.
Yes.
Okay. Can I go ahead? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So now we come to the more serious part of our presentation. And here again, you have to take a piece of paper and write. I will, of course, not be able to give you too much time, but you must at least get the idea so that immediately after this webinar is over, you must spend some reasonable quality time in doing what I'm asking you to do now. Okay. First thing is you have to clarify your purpose in life. I'm very happy that I was asked this question to differentiate between purpose and goal. Now that you know the difference, I want you to write a purpose of your life. I have written a purpose of my life. Okay. And that is what you see here: to live consciously and courageously, to resonate with love and compassion, to awaken the great spirits within others, and to leave this world in peace. This is my purpose in life. If I can achieve this, I have lived my life purposefully. Okay. Now you might think that this is all good English, but it is not. Actually, I have thought about each of these statements and written them after a lot of thinking. So I'll just take one part of it: to awaken the great spirits within others. Okay, that is my purpose in life. And what am I doing in this webinar? Is exactly this. I'm trying through this webinar to try and see, I'm making an effort to awaken the great spirits in some of you today, so that at the end of this webinar, you might actually say, now I think I've got something which I was looking for all this time. And from now on, I will live my life more purposefully. If I can make this little transformation in you, I'm actually living my purpose in life here, right? Therefore, in whatever goals I pick up in my life, either to become or to be either of these components, I must always validate and confirm whether it aligns with my purpose in life. Okay, so by giving this seminar or webinar, I actually feel very happy and I feel very satisfied. So therefore, it is the to be component that I am today working on. And it is aligning with the purpose of my life, that is to awaken the great spirits within others. So like that, now it is your turn. You have to write in less than 30 words your purpose in life. Now, please don't write your purpose in life is to get an MBA degree. No. Your purpose in life cannot be to get an MBA degree, because that is a goal in life. So you have to write a purpose of your life the way I have written. What is it in a broad sense? Why you want to do whatever you want to do in life? That should be the answer you have to put in your purpose. Whatever you want to do in your life, why you want to do that? That is what should come in the purpose statement of your life. So 30 words is the limit. And when you're writing your purpose in life, ask yourself a few questions. What are you most passionate about? Because whatever you're passionate about, if you do that, automatically your life will be correctly aligned. What are your values in life? What gives you meaning? What gives meaning to your existence? I mean, what is it? What are those activities which bring meaning to your existence? How would you want the world to remember you? So use these kind of questions when you craft your purpose in life. Okay, is that fine? So this is your next exercise. The first exercise was, what is it that you want to be and become in life? And now this is your second exercise, which is to clarify your purpose in life. Write your purpose in life in about 30 words, the way I have written, so that that should guide your life from today. That is important. Okay. Now, if you have defined your purpose, now we talk about goals. So to achieve your purpose in life, you have to build a career. But before you build your career, you have to get educated. If you get a career, then you will also have to spend some energy and time towards your personal growth. You have to look after your health. You have to look after the relationships in your life, which means your parents, your friends, your society, and so many people. And then you have to make some money, otherwise you'll be starving. And if you do all, so you have to write a goal for each of this segment. How do you do that? I will show you in the next slide. And most importantly, the spiritual growth. So there are 7 elements here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is, 1 is career, or you can say 1 is education, finances, relationships, health, personal growth, career, spiritual growth. So these are the 7 areas of your life for which you have to have your goal, and your goal should be such that it aligns with your purpose in life. That is the most important part. So let us see, we have seen how to write a purpose in life. Now we will see how to write goals in life. Okay. So career is one of the segment out of the 7. So how to write a career goal statement. Now you see the difference between the way I wrote purpose statement and the way I'm writing a goal statement. So I'm writing my career goal statement. This is just I wrote. This is not something for me, but it is just to tell you what all you must think about. So my career goal statement is like this. I will establish a startup that provides an array of software applications to clients in the healthcare industry by the year 2025. Okay, that is my goal. I will accomplish this by developing a range of software apps with rigorous quality and reliability metrics and deliver the products on time at a cost 25% lesser than the average market rate. My goal also is 60% of our products and services will be targeted at rural areas. I will continuously hone and upgrade my skills by attending at least 3 technical conferences and write 2 international peer-reviewed papers each year. Okay. So this is my goal. This is my goal for my career. Now what I want you to understand here is that I have put some time. I have put very specifically what I will do. Like I have said, I will upgrade my skills by doing something. I will write international papers. So these are my specific actions. So there is both an intent in timeline and actions. That is very, very important in a goal statement. Otherwise, your goal statement has no meaning. Okay. So therefore, when you write a career goal statement, you have to write something like this. Then only you will be able to measure whether you have attained your goal or you have not yet attained your goal. So you have to be very, very specific in your goal writing. Okay, so this is the trick, and you have to learn to do this. So in your goal statement, you have to have a timeline and you have to enumerate specific actions that you will take. And also, what is the intent of your goal? That means what is it that your goal aspires to do? Okay. Again, this career goal should match with one of your purpose in life. Okay. Now, I have also written spiritual growth, and this is something which is tricky. Many people may find it difficult to write a spiritual goal. So therefore, to make your job simpler, I have written a guide for you. Okay. So this is about spiritual growth. My spiritual attainment is based on the maxim, service to humanity is service to God. Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. During the year, that means during the current year or the next year, whichever year, I will spend 8 hours each week by offering my services at an old age home or an orphanage or other places where an opportunity exists to be of service to others. I will also undertake to provide for education of one girl child through the year. In addition, I will start my day with a prayer to God. I will meditate for 15 minutes. I will focus on growing in gratitude and express my thankfulness to at least 3 persons each day. So I must keep, initially you have to do the counting. Later, you don't have to do any counting because it will become a natural to yourself. So I will have to thank at least 3 persons each day. I will make a deliberate effort to communicate my appreciation to all those who touch my life positively through the day. So if somebody has done a good job, it could be a vendor, a vegetable vendor, for instance. If you can say, thank you, I appreciate the way you were of service to me. You can see when you make such a statement to one of these vendors, you will immediately see on their lips a big smile. Okay, and that is what will make your life very happy. So this is the goal statement for your spiritual part. So like that, there are 7 areas on which you have to concentrate. And you have to write a purpose and a goal. So this is your third exercise. And the third exercise is actually 7 goal statements you have to write for each areas. So these are 3 things. Okay. Now you might ask me, well, I have written my purpose in life. I have written my goal statements. Now, therefore, will I be able to get success? I mean, will I be able to attain my goals? A very natural question to ask. And I will actually say that not yet. So you just watch this. There are 3 steps to goal attainment. The first is goal specificity. Second is goal visualization. And the third one is, let me go back. And the third one is goal planning. So these are the 3 different steps that you have to follow. The goal specificity is there in your goal statement, which I have just now enumerated for you. So let us look at the other 3. So when we talk about SMART goals, we are talking about specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound goals. That is why they are called SMART goals. Goal specificity is what you write in your goal statements. I don't want to spend more time on this, but let me go to goal visualization. Now, once you have written your goal, if your goal was to, establish a startup, you must visualize in your own mind. It may not have yet happened, but imagine that you have already started a startup somewhere at the place of your choice, and you imagine that you have 20 people working with you, and you imagine the kind of software apps that you have developed and how it is helping society. You may have done nothing so far, but keep visualizing them in your mind. It is very, very important. And when you do that, you get very good positive vibes and thoughts about the goal outcomes. When you start doing this, it may look like dreaming and it may be looking like fancy, but the point is that in your own self, you will get that positive vibe. You will get positive thoughts about, as if you've already achieved those goal outcomes and it comes to you so well. Okay, that is a very good part. But there is a second part. The second part is that you must do mental contrasting, which is what I've written. And this whole thing is about mental contrasting. Now you imagine that in trying to establish your startup, what are the obstacles that you may encounter? So you have to write down all those obstacles also. Okay. Don't get bogged down by those obstacles, but at least write them down. At least be aware that these obstacles can happen and may happen or probably will happen. And therefore, this mental contrasting has to be done. Firstly, visualize your goals in a very positive manner and then do mental contrasting and list out all the obstacles that might come in your way. That is the second part. The third is goal planning. Now, this signals implementation intention. So, if you have religiously and correctly identified the obstacles that you may encounter, then most of you must have done some programming in your academic, pursuits. So you must now write something like, if this obstacle happens, then what will be my action? Nothing has happened so far, but you have to mentally go through this. This is what is planning all about. So here you have to write, if I do not get the land where I wanted to, or if I do not get a rental space in the building that I wanted to start my startup, then what is my next action? Write it down. Please write it down. You might think that this is very theoretical. It is not theoretical. It is very practical, because our mind gets tuned and it gets hardwired with this if and then statement. Okay. Now I'll give you an example. When I go out of my house, after I leave my house and go a few kilometers, then I start getting these ideas. Oh, did I lock my door correctly? Or did I actually do something? So I'll keep asking my wife, did you see me locking the door? And she'll say, yes, you did. Something like that. So this will keep me anxious. And it normally happens when I'm leaving the city. If I sit in the train and suddenly these thoughts come, did I close the gas or not? Okay, something like that. Or did I close the balcony or not? So for these, I have done this if and then kind of stuff. Okay. So what I do when I'm about to close my door, okay, I have written, while closing the door, remember to see the something, so which is around that area. So when I do that, I can see the staircase, and on the staircase is a flower pot. So I look at the flower pot. So whenever it has now become, after so much of practice, whenever I lock today, I automatically my face turns towards the pot and it gets digested. So this happens, and this is how hardwiring is done. And therefore you must take this step. So these are 3 steps to get your goals done. So I put a reference here. How do you do that is there in this particular paper. There is another technique which is called the WOOP technique, which is based on whatever I've said so far. The WOOP technique, actually the word WOOP stands for wish, outcome, obstacle, and plan. Okay. And it is the combination of 2 tools. The first tool is mental contrasting, and the second is implementation intentions. So which, if you recall the previous slide, I had said this in the step 2 and step 3. Both these 2 steps are put in this particular WOOP technique. And WOOP is actually an app. You can download this app. You can learn more about WOOP at the website that I have put here. Okay, it is woopmylife.org. And you can download the app and you can start using it for your goal planning and implementation. Try it. I will not spend time on this today, but this is just to tell you that there are already apps available. And this is one of the apps which is very useful for most of your goal setting exercises. Okay. Another very important thing in trying to get your goal accomplished is to cultivate a kind of a growth mindset. There are 2 kinds of mindset in people. One is a fixed mindset and another is a growth mindset. Now, if you have a fixed mindset, you will only focus on grades, you will focus on performance. But if you have a growth mindset, you will focus on learning and not so much on outcomes. So your focus is that, I must learn this skill. Okay. You are not thinking about grades here. But what happens if you have seen that movie called 3 Idiots? This is exactly what that person is trying to communicate in that movie. He's trying to tell you, develop your competencies and automatically the successes will follow you. Similarly, if you focus on learning, it is automatically going to happen that you'll get good grades. But if you only focus on grades, you miss on learning. Similarly, good performance comes naturally is what a fixed mindset person thinks. But a growth mindset person realizes that good performance takes a lot of hard work. You don't become a Sachin Tendulkar by just thinking that he was a natural stroke maker. If you actually have a word with Sachin Tendulkar, or if you read his book, he will tell you how difficult it was to hit those shots. So it takes a lot of hard work. Okay, a fixed mindset person thinks that if I have to work, then I'm not smart. So these days, people have all wanting to become very smart. Everything should become automatically coming to them, which is not what a growth mindset people will think. They will think that hard work is good and it helps you to become better. For a fixed mindset, effort means a bad sign. You want to be becoming more smarter, but put less effort. But for a growth mindset, effort is a good sign. Fixed mindset people conceal and hide deficiencies, whereas those with the growth mindset, they make the most of deficiencies. They will make the best of it. The fixed mindset people will conceal and hide mistakes, whereas the growth mindset people will capitalize on mistakes. So I will request you all to cultivate this growth mindset and focus on hard work. Don't be afraid of making mistakes, and get going with life. You'll be more at ease. Okay. So now there are two words I have written on this slide. One is gyro and another is a radar. Gyro is actually a gyroscope, and radar is something which is like your dish, right? Now, in a ship, for instance, a gyro helps us to steer in the right direction. Okay. Whereas a radar will help you to scan the environment and identify if there are any obstacles on the way. So in your life, both are important. A gyro to steer you into the right direction. So your gyro in life could be your values in life, your principles in life. So that will steer your life in the right direction. And the radar is to keep your eyes and ears open and network with people and network with, in today, social media, and scan the environment, identify both opportunities and obstacles that may come on your way. So this picture which you see here is of Ricky Ponting. And normally when a batsman goes to the crease and takes guard, he will look at all the fielders and imprint it in his mind so that he can hit his shots and get runs. Okay. Most of the batsmen in the world, they will look at each fielder and how they are standing on the field, at which positions, and they will commit that into their mind. But Ricky Ponting was of a different kind. He was not looking at the fielders. He used to put the bat pointing at the gaps, not on the fielders. And then he was one of the most prolific run getter because he could easily find gaps on the field. So once when Ponting was asked this question, he said that for me, the fielders were obstacles. So I didn't want to concentrate on obstacles, but I wanted to concentrate on the opportunities. So I was concentrating on the gaps and not the fielders. So this is one example. Find opportunities even in difficult times. Okay. Now I have this slide here. I have to tell you that you must run your own race. Don't only keep comparing yourself with others, because you'll make your life more miserable in the process. Now here, there are two orange circles. Okay, in your own mind, answer this question. Which one of them is bigger? This one is bigger or this one is bigger? Okay. I hope you've answered this question. Which of this orange circle is bigger? This one or this one? Okay, have you answered this question to yourself? Okay. Now look at this. They both are actually equal. Now why one appears bigger is because the surrounding circles make it like that. Here the surrounding circles are small. Here the surrounding circles are big. So this is exactly what happens in our life. Okay. By comparing ourselves to others all the time, we make our life much more miserable, and it only confuses our mind. So our mind is very good at confusing us with comparisons. when I asked you this question without showing you the second rectangle, some of you must have answered this circle looks to be bigger, but you see how your mind has confused you. Okay, so this is very important. Don't make comparisons in your life. Now here is a person whose photograph I'm showing. Some of you may be knowing him because you're all from the east of India. Okay, his name is Hokeshio Jimomi. Now he's a cricket hero from Nagaland. If you didn't know that, I'm just telling you. And you may also know that he has never played for India. Never mind about that. He never played for India. The nearest he came to popularity was when he was part of Kolkata Knight Riders squad in the IPL. But even there, he was never a part of their playing 11. He never went to the field to play, except that he was a substitute once or twice. Yet, he is a hero. In his village in Nagaland, Hokeshio is an inspiration for sports person in his region, because he is the first cricketer from Nagaland. For him, sharing a team bus and a hotel with the stars of cricket like Sachin or Saurav Ganguly was a great enough recognition. Now my question to you is, how do you look at Hokeshio's cricketing career? If you start comparing him with Sachin Tendulkar, he is a miserable failure. But if you, on his own merit, if you don't compare with him with anyone but himself, you must realize that he came from a humble origin. He became the first Nagaland cricketer to represent IPL, and he ran his own race. He's an inspiration to his people and society. So his life, if he doesn't compare with anybody, is a great success. So your yardstick of success depends on you. Okay. More important is that there are two lines in life which you must remember. One is called the success line. The second is called the satisfaction line. As long as your success line is above the satisfaction line, you will never be satisfied in life. Because whatever you get, you want more. And therefore, this gap will always, create that unnecessary kind of anxiety in yourself. If the satisfaction line and success line are on the same lines, then you are contented in life. You are happy with whatever you have. But if your satisfaction line is much above the success line, that you are always satisfied. You are always satisfied with what you have. So this is a very important principle with which you should pursue your goals. And that is, firstly, not to compare yourself with others. And the second is, learn to be satisfied with what you already have, rather than only searching for what you don't have. So while giving this presentation, I spoke to some of my friends who are all CEOs and managing directors and all that. And I asked them, what should I tell the students? So these are the things that I received from these experts. One of them said, lead a balanced life. Tell these people in the webinar that they should lead a balanced life. That is, student, family, personal, all this should be balanced. This is exactly what I said when I said about to become and to be. Live a healthy lifestyle with positive attitude, ethics, honesty of purpose, and take ownership for all your actions. Don't blame everybody else. Whatever happens is your own decision, your own ownership. That is very important. As students, focus on developing skills, strive for excellence, and be a team player. This is about growth mindset, which I just talked about a few slides earlier. Follow your passion, very important. Build your professional network, and above all, keep honing and upgrading your skills. If you don't do that, you will be out of the race very soon. So make learning a lifelong mission. As professionals, you must focus on reliability, quality, cost evaluation of any product or services that you design or offer. Only then you can become a global player. So today we are talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat. If you want to really become that, you have to very much look at all these aspects of attributes that I have listed here. focus on sustaining a green environment. Environment is very important to us, and therefore all your activities should be towards a greener environment.
Hello, sir.
Yes, just 2 slides. If you can just wait
Yes,
for
sir.
2
Actually, your slide is not visible. Please again.
Which one? Previous.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is not visible?
Sir, actually,
Sir,
I think
nothing.
it's a stop sharing. I think you have pressed maybe.
No.
Please again press.
Shall I?
Sir.
Okay, sir. Otherwise, it's continue, please, sir.
No, is it coming?
Not really, sir.
I-
Now it's okay. Now it's okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. So what?
You can see it, sir. You can see it.
Yes.
Were all the slides like that, or this is only? No, all the slides were like that, or this is the only slide you did not see?
No. Now it's okay, sir. There's something
It's
maybe
okay.
problem maybe there. Okay.
Okay. Can I go to the next slide?
Yes. Proceed, sir.
Okay. So although I gave a similar presentation to engineers earlier, this is equally applicable to any graduate. If you want to be successful, be trustworthy, be honest, develop top communication skills, learn to work in a team, collaborate, very important for especially Indian students, be open-minded, think ahead, expect unexpected, which is very important. Don't always think that everything will go your way. Think that's why I said identifying obstacles and listing them out is very important. Also, effectively manage risk. So you have to, if you identified the obstacles, then you will know what are the risks and you should have plans to tackle them. Set challenging goals. Your goals should be such that they are very stretchable and very, very high. In fact, there is a very beautiful statement which says, but a man's reach should exceed his grasp. So that, you should try and reach something where your grasp is still not there. It is beyond you. But such should be your goal. It should be, it is not just attaining the goal which is as important, but even striving to attain those goals will give you a lot of happiness. Minimize complexities in life and in whatever services and products you develop. Use your knowledge positively and purposefully. Assume ownership in your life and show all the team building characteristics. Don't become a solo player, become a team player. And then if you have all this, you will definitely succeed in life. So with this, I thank you, and I'm open to questions that you may have.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you very much for the wonderful session, actually. Yes, sir. Actually, we have got some question from the participants. Yeah. Somashri Mohanty ma'am, she's asking, sir, for a working professional, also being a student staying with family, please guide so as how to maintain work-life balance.
Yes, she's asking such a difficult question. So you see, it is not an act that you can just do. You can't say, I will spend 3 hours now here and 2 hours there and whatever. Most of the people do this patchwork and therefore they don't find it working. If you want to have a balanced life, then you have to again go back to the to be and to become and see whether you have correctly defined them or not. If you have not defined them correctly, then you must do it now, and then have both your purpose and goal very clear. If you have done all this, automatically you'll find that there'll be a balance, because when you're doing the goal setting, you will be doing goal setting for all the 7 areas of sectors of life that I had explained. So when you do that, it is possible. And what you have actually said is a big challenge, and that is a challenge not just for you, but for many people in whichever professions they are. So everywhere, wherever I have seen people facing such problems, it is only because somewhere when they started their career, they did not define correctly and positively the way we should. So it is not too late. Even now, you must know which is your priority in life. Don't keep running only after what is very urgent in life. Sometimes you have to spend time to do what is important in life. Let me give you an example. For instance, doing a health checkup is important for you. I hope you agree. Okay. But if I ask you, did you go to the hospital to get yourself checked up? You'll say, nahi, abhi to, yesterday I had a big meeting, day before something else was important, and tomorrow there is an examination, so I have to conduct that. Then I have to go for my child's admission. So all that, these are all urgent work. You'll keep focusing on them, but you've forgotten what was very important in life. And then suddenly one day it will so happen that because you had neglected your own health, you'll suddenly have a problem. I mean, I'm not saying you will have a problem. I'm saying generally when I say you, I mean the general public. They'll suddenly face with a problem with their health, and then they'll be taken to a hospital, and then, everything else happens. So therefore, don't just run after what is urgent in life. That is what we seem to be doing. We should focus on what is important in life. So what is urgent and important will become clearer if you had a very good picture of your purpose and goal statements.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Next question from Fatima Wasima.
Okay.
How to balance the personal and professional life?
This is exactly what I said. Those two vectors are to become and to be. Okay. So every day, only doing 80% time on to become aspect of life, and neglecting the to be aspect of life, you'll be in a problem. So let me give you an example from my personal life. You might get an idea. Okay. My family is a devotee of Sri Satya Sai Baba in Puttaparthi. My mother used to go there every year since 1969. Every year she used to go and do seva there for 1 month or 15 days actually. Okay. And 15 days she used to stay there. So 1 month in a year she used to spend at that place. In 2010, in fact, actually in 2009, she became sick. And so in 2010, she could not go there. And she was staying with me in Hyderabad. Now, I could have taken her to Puttaparthi any time that I wanted, but I also had, like everybody else is telling their problems. So I was very much, into getting some job done in my office. So I was not getting time. So on the Ugadi day of 2010, I decided to take her to Puttaparthi. But by that time, Baba himself was in the hospital, and after that he never recovered, and then his life ended. Okay. Now today when I look back, I sometimes feel, why did I wait till Ugadi? I could have taken her in the month of January itself if possible. So, sometimes what was very important to me, I could not do. And today I may only regret and look back and say, but only if I had taken this decision, it would have been different. And this is the same thing which happens with everybody. So when you are balancing professional and personal life, please understand that both are important. Both the vectors are important. Okay. Maybe that you might want to focus more on your career, a little less on your personal. It's okay. But you have to, provide time for both and provide energy and effort on both. So therefore, if you want to be happy, the only way you can be happy, as I said in my goal statement, is that I will ensure that I will bring smiles to at least 3 people every day. I will thank 3 people every day. Make it a life's habit. Then it will become a part of your stuff. So if you have an issue with personal life, ensure that whatever you are not able to do in the quantum that you want to do, at least begin something in that direction. I'm not saying that you should do it one at the cost of the other. That eventually happens. Let me tell you that nothing in life will be achieved without sacrifice. Nothing. Okay, so the best example is go to a swimmer and ask. When you're swimming, you have to throw the water backwards. If you don't throw the water backwards, you can't swim forwards. Same thing in life. If you want to go ahead in life, there are many things that you need to sacrifice. It could be that you may be wanting to see a TV serial, but you may not get the time to do that. You may want to cook one of the most very good dishes, but you may not be able to do that, etc. And so many things. Like today, after I have relinquished everything, today I feel very happy. In fact, I spend a lot of time cooking. I do a lot of gardening. And so whatever I was missing in my active years of profession, I'm enjoying it now. But I had planned it. I had planned it in such a way that I will have the time to enjoy this also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Another question from Mosumi. If the people in the workplace are negative minded and jealous in nature, how to cope with such situation?
The only thing you can cope is that you have to be positive. Okay. See, there are two circles that you encounter in life. One is the circle of control. Okay. Make a circle and write control. And make a bigger circle and write concern. So these are the two circles on which we operate. A circle of control and a circle of concern. What you can do is only in the circle of control. Whatever is in your control, you can do that. What you're concerned about but not in your control, you can't do anything about that. So you have to adapt. So don't worry about whether people are jealous. You don't be jealous. See, let me tell you, half of the problems in our life is not because something bad has happened to you. In fact, nothing bad has happened to you. But still you're feeling miserable because something good is happening to others. When something good is happening to others, you can't digest it. So then you start saying, I don't know how he got or how she got into that. I was much better. I was this, I was that. Don't do all that. So the only way is that don't think people are negative. You may, because that's not the right way to look at life. Everybody is good. Maybe that, but if you are positively radiating, positivity all around you, everything will fall into place. So let me give you another example. Supposing I ask you to carry 20 kg bricks, say from ASBM campus to maybe the Bhubaneswar Secretariat. Okay. Now you might say, it's just not possible. 20 kg brick, it is very heavy, stuff like that. And you'll start crying and you'll say, no, I can't do that. Now, suppose I replace that 20 kg brick with a kid, which may be your sister's kid or maybe a brother's kid or your own baby. Now you will carry that baby anywhere and everywhere, including Secretariat and beyond that, and have no complaints. Why? Because in the first case, you looked at the problem as custom. It is difficult, custom. And in the second case, you looked at the problem as ishtam, something which you like. So therefore, when you start liking something, then automatically even what is difficult around your surrounding will all vanish. So if people are envious and jealous and negative minded, you be positive and continue to do your work in a very positive manner. Radiate that happiness to others. The best thing that you can do is to ensure that when you meet people, you smile at them. When you smile at somebody, I don't think the other person in response can show a frown to you. Automatically, his lips will also start smiling. This is nature. Okay. If even when you are walking on the road and you don't know the man coming or the late person coming from the opposite direction, and you just smile at them, you'll suddenly see that they also in their face a smile comes. So that is it. So just be the change that you want to be yourself. Okay, don't worry about what the environment does. Automatically, your positivity will radiate into the environment one day.
Thank you, sir. Sir, just one question from the other participant actually. Sukanya ma'am, what if someone cannot find his or her purpose, or maybe he or she had to give up pursuing that what he or she thought was his or her purpose?
I can't hear you. Your voice is lost.
Yeah, sir. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes. Sir, actually, if someone's approach or someone purpose is not fulfilled, okay, during the journey or during the academic or he or she is a failure.
Okay.
Can we call it?
No, nobody is a failure. Okay. Now I gave you that example of the Nagaland cricketer. Is he a failure? He did not represent India. He did not play big cricket. He did not make big money. So shall we call him a failure? Or is he a hero? So,
Yes.
Firstly, to say that my purpose has changed cannot happen, because your purpose in life cannot change. My purpose, as I said, if I want to transform people, how will it change? I mean, I can be in any situation. Yes, I may not be able to attain certain goals that I set for myself for whatever reasons. So those are goals. Don't, confuse yourself between purpose and goal. So you cannot fail on purpose. You can fail to get your goal attained. So let me tell you a story. Okay. Most of you must be knowing that there is a place called Kashi. Okay. And in Kashi, it is Lord Shiva who is worshipped. I hope you all know that he is called Kashi Vishwanath. Okay. And the consort of Kashi is Parvati, and the name of Parvati in Kashi is Vishalakshi. Okay. This is just a background that I'm setting up for you. So one day, Lord Vishwanath was telling Vishalakshi that, I don't feel that all these devotees who come and worship me, they have any confidence in their life. They just come and do some worshipping here, but they lead their life without any confidence, without any self-belief. So Vishalakshi got very angry with Lord Shiva, and she said, how can you say this about your devotees? They come from such far off places, they break coconuts here, they sing your bhajans, and they do everything, and now you're saying that they don't have confidence and self-belief. So he said, okay, I will prove it to you tomorrow. And so the next day he did a drama. Now in Kashi, the river that flows there is Ganga. Okay. So he went into the Ganga river and he started doing a drama as if he was drowning. And he had literally drowned, and only a little bit of his head was seen. And he was shouting, bachao, bachao, help, help, and all that. But there was one condition. The condition was that anyone who came to help Lord Shiva, first he has to meet Parvati. And Parvati would ask a question. The question is, only if you have done no sin in your life, that means only if you have done no pap in your life, can you save this person? Otherwise, you will also drown along with him. So everybody has done some sin or the other in life, so they did not go and help him. Because when they were about to help him, this was the question, and everybody has done some sin. There was a boy who was watching all this. He was about 14 years old. And when he literally found that Shiva was almost drowning, he simply jumped into the river, caught hold of that man, brought him to the banks of the river, and he said, now you sit here and don't go anywhere. And he was about to leave when Parvati stopped him, and he said, oh, I'm so happy that in the whole of Kashi, there is at least one person who has done no sin in life. So he said, aap kya bol rahe hain? Main to roj paap karta hu. So then she got annoyed. She said, then how did you jump into the water? He said, I don't know about others, why they did not jump. He said, hamare family mein, there is one tradition. There is one belief. I'm sure that most of you must be wondering what is that belief. In fact, many of us worship Ganga Jal also. The belief most of the Hindu families have is that if you take a snan in Ganga, your sins will be washed. Aapke paap dhul jayenge. Okay. But when the actual event came, how many of them believed this and executed this? None. Everybody went off. They did not remember that time that if they jump into Ganga, their sins will be washed. For them, it was only theory. Okay, something which is just to be, for worship. But it was not a self-belief. It was not a self-confidence. So therefore, when you are pursuing your goals, it may happen sometime that you may not be able to accomplish it. If you're not able to accomplish it, if you have a growth mindset, then you will say, okay, I've learned my lesson and this is what I will do next time. And that is the way to grow in life. It is not just earning in life that is very important. Even learning in life is as important. And if you learn something positive every day, you have lived a very purposeful life. So therefore, don't just look only at the element of goal. Yes, to attain those goals are important. Also remember that even if you attain your goal, the happiness that you're going to get is not what you predicted to be. It will be just like what I gave you in that survey. So ultimately, if you live a balanced life and if you spend equal time or at least reasonable time for both to become and to be, you will do a wonderful job. And don't worry about one or two failures in life, because they are important. In fact, today the tragedy of our education and the tragedy of our generation to grow is that they are not being taught how to fail in life, how to succeed in life, and how to get your certificate is very good. But what happens?
Right, sir.
What happens when you fail in life, and how to handle that failure is very, very important. And this is not happening because in my time as a kid, we got an opportunity to fail many times, and where we failed was in the playground. We used to play matches every day. Some days we lost, some days we won, and we learned to live with some failures in life every now and then. But nowadays, even that element is stopped, and even the children are playing only on the laptop and on their iPhone. So where is that failure in life going to happen? So when a real failure happens, they all become depressed, oppressed, everything happens. So which is very sad. So we must teach our children how to fail. And it's not a bad thing. Failure is not a bad thing. I told you, Edmund Hillary did not climb the Mount Everest the first time. So the number of failures has been tremendous. So if you see any big personality, they have failed many, many, many times before they achieved the success.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Such
It was
wonderful deliberation, actually. And the lots of things we have learned from you. And I hope our participant as well as we actually go it with the same confidence how we can succeed in our life. Okay.
Yeah, and I wish you all, and I really wish you all very best. God bless you all, and achieve marvelous things in your life and live your life purposefully and meaningfully. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, one small announcement. Yeah,
Okay.
because we are conducting a webinar series, and our next webinar is Indian banking today and tomorrow. So stay tuned with us, and it will be held on 13th July, 4 to 5 p.m. Okay, so please register is open. You can register yourself. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.